Welcome to the Starting Monday podcast, the podcast for anyone who has a habit of delaying their health and fitness goals, who struggles to build consistency, or just doesn't know where to start. Have you ever said the phrase, "I'll start Monday"? If so, this is the podcast for you. Now, let's welcome the hosts, experienced personal trainers, and all-around good guys, Barry Stephen and Matthew Percival.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Starting Monday podcast. I'm Barry Stephen and I'm with my good friend Matthew Percival, and we're here today to talk to you about why you may not be making progress, particularly in the gym.
But not your standard stuff.
No.
Not your standard stuff. We'll get a bit more to the other stuff.
We've covered a few things already in episode 2, so we want to make this one a little bit different. But before we get started, Matthew, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Not much. To be fair, if we're releasing this next week, I'm currently in London, guys. I don't know how I'm recording this, but I'm currently in London and I'm living my best life. How have you been, Barry?
Well, we may release this before that time, Matthew, but thanks for pointing that one out. Anyway.
No, you've got to wait now. You've got to release it when I'm in London.
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Was away at the weekend, was down at Hampden watching the mighty Scotland beat the mighty Cyprus.
Scotland.
3-0.
An Englishman scoring 2 goals for you. How did it feel?
It felt fine.
It felt fine.
You do know Harry Kane was born in Scotland?
Yeah, definitely. I believe that.
He was.
Where was he born, Barry?
He was born up north somewhere. I don't exactly know. I think it was Elgin.
He was born in Elgin. To be fair, he has that accent. Yeah.
No, he was born there. His mum and dad were on holiday just before he was born.
Yeah.
It was a sudden thing. It just came about, and obviously he's got an English passport. He lives in England and stuff, but not a lot of people know that about Harry Kane.
I feel like that might not be true, but guys, give it a Google. Just so people who aren't into football, Harry Kane is currently England's top goal scorer.
Yeah, born in Elgin,
and also an all-around good guy. To be fair, I'm not much of a fan, but he scores goals.
Good guy like us.
Scores goals. Yeah, good guy like us.
That's good. I'm sure you'll do really well.
Yeah, really well. I also
always.
hope Scotland qualify, guys. I hope Scotland qualify for the Euros along with the mighty England. But Barry, what's your biggest pet peeve in the gym?
Oh, I've got a few, to be fair.
You only get one.
Okay. Well, my biggest peeve will have to be people coming into the gym and instantly telling me how cold it is. Like, so you hate it when people point out facts? No, but it's the same. It's the same people that I see every day.
And they always go, it's
Monday, 9 o'clock. It's so cold in here. Tuesday, 9 o'clock. It's so cold. Like, hi, how you doing? Oh, it's so cold.
Yeah, not hey Barry. How's your day going? Instantly, it's so cold.
You told me that yesterday. You told me that last week. You're going to tell me that tomorrow. Change the record.
Yeah, need something new.
What about you?
My worst one these days is muddy shoes. Mainly because the people with muddy shoes are also blissfully unaware that they have muddy shoes. They come in stomping everywhere. There's mud everywhere.
Actually, now I think about it, that's probably my biggest
muddy shoes in the gym
peeve.
Like they've been running through a bog or something.
Yeah,
and they've let it dry in, and they've come to the gym the next day.
Well, I absolutely cannot stand that. In fact, I've lost the head a few times over the years in the gym. And you try not to. You try to be dead polite and ask people to clean their feet and stuff like that. But I just find it highly disrespectful. Imagine
disrespectful.
Imagine me coming into your house, right, and just walking right across your hall, your living room carpets, and that with big mucky feet.
I'm guessing your no balls are completely clean whenever you wear them in the gym.
Absolutely. 100%.
You don't go running through a bog on the weekend.
No, because I'll
back in on a Monday.
I'll use other traders for that.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Good idea.
So no, I'm on,
guys.
I'm on board with that one, Matthew. To be fair, that is a really good one. But
let's get into our topic, Barry. Why aren't people making progress? But not like your standard, your nutrition's not on point, that sort of stuff.
Well, here's one that might resonate with quite a few people, is comparing themselves to other people.
Yeah, it's a good one.
We're talking maybe people that they know, their friends or family, people in the gym that they don't know, or maybe people online on Instagram and things like that.
Yeah, they see
and
the perfect physique and compare themselves to that.
Especially if they're following people on Instagram, online, and things like that, and coming across people that are portraying the perfect life and the perfect body and the perfect
it can be really
diet,
demotivating,
and they can't aspire to live to that standards and that level. Even though probably a lot of the time, a good high percentage of the time, that it's a load of nonsense.
The photos are edited.
Yeah.
The life isn't quite as it seems.
I mean,
that sort of stuff.
Me and you are on Instagram, and
and also this podcast is on Instagram, isn't it, Barry?
It is on Instagram.
Guys, give it a follow, the Starting Monday podcast.
And it's where we're going to post most of our social media content.
We plugged it. I don't know how we managed that, but we managed.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't necessarily post the bad parts of my life on Instagram. Who does?
No, right? You don't, do you? You don't post that at all.
So you've got to remember that when you're following somebody, that they're posting...
It's a highlight reel.
It's a highlight reel, and sometimes it's not accurate.
And then we're talking in terms of physique, but they also kind of come into strength as well. People pulling really heavy weights and making you feel like, oh, well, what I'm pulling isn't quite as impressive. I think it's like 1% of the world's population can bench over 100 kilograms. So if you can bench over 100, you fall into that 1%. I don't know where I saw that. It could be complete lies. I have not fact checked it. But again,
it's fact. I'm in that.
Guys, it's fact.
But yeah,
Barry Stevens certified.
Try not to compare yourself to others. And I did it a little bit when I was younger, in my 20s, people that I worked with or people in the gym. And in some ways it can inspire you and help you and push you on and bring out a competitiveness in you that maybe helps you towards a particular goal. But
then it's understanding, is it a positive or is it a negative?
Sometimes it's a negative.
I would say a lot of time it's a negative, yeah.
And, your goal is your goal. Right. It's, don't worry about other people. Don't worry about what other people are doing, what they're achieving. Often I'll see people that are fairly new to lifting, for example, come into the gym and get a little bit despondent that they're not lifting the same sort of weights as someone else that they see in the gym, but not necessarily knowing that, that person's been in it for close to 10 years. Yeah. Let's count up all the sessions that they've done. That is like hundreds and hundreds of sessions. Now let's count up the sessions you've done on this particular lift.
Yeah, and they've also distracted from the fact they've probably added weight to all their lifts as well. Like their lifts are improving. They're progressing, but they're too busy comparing themselves to someone else.
So I guess comparing yourself to others can sometimes set you back because you end up trying to push yourself harder when you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
Or you might just chuck it.
Scrap it.
Yeah, and I know. Speaking to some of my female clients, that they have been through periods where they felt demotivated because of potentially something that they're seeing online and they're comparing themselves to that. And my advice would be stop following anyone that makes you feel
that brings you down. Yeah, just
negative. Yeah. Right, and you're scrolling through and you're following certain people and you don't get a positive feeling. It doesn't benefit you. It doesn't make your day better. Unfollow that person. If you're following me and I make you feel like that,
this is where we lose 1,000 followers.
Then unfollow me straight away because I don't want to make you feel like that.
You know what? That's a lovely thing to say, Barry. Lovely
Absolutely.
thing to say. I think another issue,
if you don't like this podcast, stop it right now and go and listen to something else.
Keep listening. I think another one is, I think people's work ethic as well. I feel like a lot of people in the gym go to the gym. I'm going to the gym tonight. Yeah, going to go work hard. But at the end of the day, they go in, they're sitting down, they're on their phone, they're chatting away, they're doing things like that. They're not really focusing on their workout and what they should be doing. They're not really putting that intensity in to get their results. I
felt that when I started training with you, Matthew, that your work ethic really improved.
I feel like when you started training with me, Barry, your work ethic really improved. That's how I feel. I'm flipping it. I'm pushing it back on you. I think both of our work ethics really improved. I hit some PBs when we trained. For anyone know, we trained together outside. Lockdown 2, we did a workout a week together, didn't we?
No, at least one.
Yeah, every Friday we did
two or three.
our big lifts, and I think I hit like 2 or 3 PBs.
You've never trained as well, I don't think, as when you trained with me.
Well, I then personally. Also since then hit a bench PB and a deadlift PB,
which is also a good tip. I don't know if this is part of our topic today or not, but if you do train on your own and you find that your work ethic isn't as good as you want it to be, you're finding distracted because you're always looking at your phone or things like that. First of all, don't take your phone into the gym, but never mind, that's another topic. Or you're spending long periods of time distracted talking to other people. Maybe getting one of your pals or getting a gym buddy.
Idea.
A gym buddy. A lot of the people
get someone of a similar goal and similar mindset can make a world of difference. To your training intensity, everything. And again, back to your phone. If you're feeling like you're distracted by your phone, do not disturb it. Go to the gym. Do not disturb it. Put your music on. Simple. Get working out.
Music's a massive thing that will help you. Get your earphones in, switch yourself off.
Barry, I usually don't listen to music.
What? Why?
I don't like it, to be fair.
You don't like music?
I don't like listening to music as I train.
Matthew doesn't like music.
Guys, I hate music. I like complete silence. No, I'm joking. I do like a little bit of background noise, but I prefer not having earphones in a lot of the time.
So why do you always put Nessun Dorma on when you're going for a big lift? Because know it inspires you.
That's got deep. That's got some deep
inspires you.
Deep reasons with me. Yeah.
So music is so important.
Nessun Dorma by Bocello Pavarotti,
which is
I hope I said his name right.
Italian 90. But yeah, get a gym buddy. It might help improve your work ethic, and don't take your phone in.
Yeah. And again, that can transfer into getting a PT or something like that as well if you want to. But a gym buddy, a friend, can be a game changer.
Yeah, and if your work ethic improves, there's a good chance that your results will improve.
And I've one that it does resonate with me quite a lot. God, I've said resonate a lot.
You're just trying to
make it look like you're intelligent. Into this episode as well. I'm dragging it on. Injuries. I think injuries are a big one for a lot of people. Really demotivating, can really push people back. For example, like they've hurt their elbow. And it's
a big thing. It's a big thing for you.
I'm injured a lot, to be fair. Let's not talk about that. But for example, I've had people that I've trained in the past who have hurt, for example, let's just say their elbow. And because their elbow's sore, they get really demotivated. They're not coming to the gym anymore. But you're focusing on what you can't do rather than what you can do. So what can you do? Well, I can still train my legs. So we can still come to the gym 2-3 days a week and train legs. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What other movements can you do? Is your elbow limiting you from X, Y, and Z? Or is it just certain movements? Like what can we manage? How can we manage the situation? But instead people tend to go, you know what, I'll just take time off. Demotivated, won't come back in, 2 months have passed, everything's regressed. Rather than keep moving, keep exercising, keep getting that weight off if that's your goal, keep getting that strength if that's your goal, keep coming.
Yeah, work around it. There's two types of people. One, person A will use that as an excuse not to come back and take that period off and I'll come back once my elbow's better or my knee's better. Chances are you're probably not going to do that. But there's no reason why you can't continue. Person B is like, Barry, I've got this issue today. I can't do any sort of knee flexion exercises. But I want to do this, and this. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. We'll work around that. We'll do this exercise. We'll do that exercise. We'll get you a good workout. We'll keep you motivated.
It's always adaptation.
We'll keep you moving forward. And do not let an injury hold you back. Adapt, work around it. Keep moving forward.
Don't be silly. Like if you've got a lower back injury, doing really heavy deadlifts is probably not the best idea, but you can adapt around it, right?
Yeah. Obviously, and this is not really an exciting one, but consistency is obviously
it's being consistent.
A big one.
It's not an exciting one, no. But if you have a plan, how many days a week you're going to come, and then you're consistently doing that, and you're keeping it up, make a world of difference.
And we know that we're going to be more sustainable with things and get that consistency if we are inspired by the things that we're doing. If we're doing things that inspire us to a certain goal, so set goals, or we're doing things that we just really enjoy.
Yeah.
So like if you don't enjoy the type of training that you're doing, and it's a bit of a chore and it's a bit of a thought to get there, maybe consider changing it to something else.
Yeah, that you do enjoy.
You don't have
and
to.
And that comes down to planning, like planning out what you want to do and why. Yeah.
And within the gym, Matthew trains more towards powerlifting. Would that be correct?
I would say I'm a hybrid. I do a bit of what we call, fancy term, power building, Barry.
So you do. You are more.
I do some heavy stuff.
You're more strength. Yeah.
So strength. Yeah, strength. Don't call me an athlete. I do strength training.
And I also do strength training, but I also like to do more endurance work, little circuits, things like that. I enjoy that. You don't enjoy that as much, but so that makes us a little bit different. Yeah. But you do what inspires you. You do what you enjoy.
Yeah, I do what I enjoy. Like I've tried loads of different training methods in the past. I've done more bodybuilding. I've done more powerlifting. But again, they're both. I do like parts of it, so I've kind of like combined them together, and I do kind of like a hybrid version of either of them these days.
Yeah. And you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to be in the gym lifting weights like me and Matthew. You could be playing a sport. You could be going and playing badminton, squash, tennis, five-a-side football,
home workouts,
swimming, home workouts. If you can't get to the gym, what can you do that will keep you active, keep you motivated? There's loads of options out there for you, but just do what you enjoy, get that consistency, or you're probably not going to make the progress that you want to make. A big one that's just come to mind, Matthew, is recovery.
Yeah, recovery is a big one for a lot of people. I think a lot of people struggle with recovery, especially sleep and getting good, solid sleep. 6 to 8 hours a night. I think a lot of people, especially in high stress jobs, so stress management comes into that, struggle with getting good sleep and expect themselves to perform. If you're getting 3 hours of sleep and you're trying to hit a PB the next day, it's not happening. Yeah. I'll be impressed if you hit it. I'll be very impressed. So if you're getting minimal sleep, try and focus, get some more, see what you can do.
Get the basics right. I mean, the basics for recovery are, like Matthew just said there, sleep, obviously. But, alongside that, you've got being well hydrated and your nutrition. All right. So these are three things.
And also days off, right? So days off can help with motivation. Like if you love training and you take a couple of days off, you can't wait to get back. But if you're grinding yourself into the ground doing 7 days a week, you're not really looking forward to that next day workout because you're always doing it. So a little bit of time off maybe on the weekends can make a big difference.
So talk to us about someone who trains consistently, or has got into that consistent process of training, obviously goes in and trains quite hard, but then maybe some weeks they don't know how to progress their training, and other weeks they're not feeling as strong. Talk to us about a deload, right? A deload week and what that means and what that can help. So we're talking how can that help them?
Yeah, more intermediate to advanced lifters.
So what's a deload week? What does it mean?
So with programming, when you've obviously chose a program, your week, say we'll go to a 4-week block. You can call it a mesocycle if you're feeling really fancy, but a 4-week block. Week 1 would be a lighter week, a 7 RP, so 7 out of 10. Week 2, an 8 out of 10. Week 3, a 9 out of 10. And then week 4, you're pushing, let's say, a 10 out of 10. So you're really working hard on all your lifts. Your volume's up. You maybe added a couple sets over the weeks, that sort of stuff. So you're peaking your volume. The issue is when you do this, when you peak performance, your fatigue is also peaking with that. So you're tired, you're lethargic. I've got a lot of clients and for example, myself, I dread a week 4 or a week 5 or the peak weeks. They're hard graft. Mm-hmm. You're tired the whole week. Mm-hmm. So the next time would be a deload. So you've taken your lifts, you've taken everything, you've reduced your sets, let's say, and you've reduced your intensity. So your weight's down that you're lifting and your sets down, so your volume's down. So you're letting your body recover for a week, then start your next program. So you're not constantly driving, pushing, because it just doesn't work like that.
It's not realistic.
Wish it did.
So you're taking your body and your program and your through a cycle.
Yeah, exactly. It's through a cycle.
It's gradually building up step by step, and then it's dropping down. Then it's building up again, maybe going that little bit further than it went before, and then it's dropping down. A great
example, guys, is if you don't really understand it, is if you added 2.5 kilograms to your bench press, Barry, every week for as long as you've been training, I'm pretty sure you'd be benching like 10,000 kilograms.
Yeah.
You just can't always add weight. So taking a step back to then build back up, take a step back, build back up.
So you might use this process with one or two exercises rather than your whole program.
Yeah. It depends how serious you want to take it, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Depends how much you're into it. If you're struggling to get consistency, I'll focus on that. But as you said, if you are consistent, you can look at this.
If you're maybe going to the gym a few times a week, or you tend to go to classes and things like that, you can still potentially adapt this formula a little bit to the way you train, don't you?
Yeah, you can be. You could build up.
By building up how hard you're training week to week within your sessions, within your classes, that sort of thing. But then maybe having that week where you take a step back and you just allow your body to recover. So you're still training, right?
Do 2 or 3 classes rather than your 5 or 6, you know what I mean, that you've been doing or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can do it in that way as well. Of course you can.
Or not train quite as hard that week.
Yeah, we're taking like each class is a bit easier.
And then build it up again.
Yeah.
And that might be something that helps people maintain better progress, better consistency, maybe getting better
more
results.
Motivation, all that sort of stuff, yeah.
And I think like maybe going back to work ethic as well, like if you are the type of person, because I know a lot of people that are listening don't necessarily go to the gym and lift weights. They go to classes. Different types of classes.
Yeah, there's a lot of classes out there.
Which is great because they're getting the motivation from all the people in the class.
Yeah, the instructor.
And the instructor. They're getting the accountability. You know, obviously I love this because, you know, I built a gym around building classes and getting people together, and it helps everyone. But, you know, if you can adapt that mindset of, you know, slowly building up your performance week to week, and then maybe taking a bit of a deload week, you know, that's going to help you as well. And it's going to help with your work ethic rather than just going in and just going like, well, I'll just plod away at the same level as I always do and never really achieve more than like the same weights or the same amount of reps. Or
it's a big takeaway point. I think a lot of people do struggle with recovery.
Yeah.
They don't really prioritize it at all. And sleep and stress being the main ones. But yeah, deloading, etc. as well. People always going hard as they can in every exercise.
What about people, their support network, right? So like, you know, their support they're getting from their partner, their family, their friends, the people that they're surrounding themselves with. Because sometimes that can make or break it. You know,
it can do. If you go home and someone's not supporting what you want to do, it's very negative, isn't it? It's not going to help you achieve your goal at all. If you go home and someone goes, "Oh, how did you get on?" Like, "Oh, you're doing so well," that sort of stuff, and it's supporting you and motivating you, will make a hell of a difference. So yeah, family, friends, big supporters, they should be behind you, but I don't think they always are for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a bit of a funny one because, like, you know, for me, like in my world, it's always been quite a positive thing, but you know, I have heard that this is not always the case for everyone. Yeah. And I just think, you know, if you know, it comes back down to communication and speaking to the people that are closest to you and getting them on board with the goals that you have,
and maybe them understanding why you're doing it. So what's the reason behind it? I'm worried about my health, so this is why I'm investing this time in the gym. So and then being like, you support me is a good thing. I need
everything. Will come back to what we talked about in episode 1. Everything, the what, the how, and the why, and understanding the why, and you know, communicating that with the people that are closest to you, and getting the people around about you to support you, whether that's with your nutrition, your social events, your lifestyle, or just allowing you that time to go and exercise in the gym. You know, compromising with each other's lifestyles and
making it work.
Yeah, and you know, there's examples of that in my own life. I've got to, you know, compromise with my wife so that she can, you know, also get to the gym and do stuff.
And also have a workout, etc.
Yeah. I mean, like social events.
It's the benefit of being single, Barry. You can just do what I like when I want.
You don't have to compromise at all, do you?
Compromise with myself, and that's it. But it is true. Like, support is a big one, and I think a lot of people do have maybe not enough support from family and friends, and it would help if they had more. Yeah, it's a big one for motivation.
So get them to listen to this episode, and if they're not supporting you, all right?
Tell Barry, he'll have a word. He'll sit him down. But then you did mention social events there, which is a big one for a lot of people as well, because they have something on at the weekends, like you did, drinking at the game.
I did, yeah. Well, I actually didn't drink all that much. I'll have you know.
How many? This is when we figured out how much is not all that much, Barry. I only had 15 pints at Dennett's.
I like the accent. Well, bearing in mind this was a lad's day out bus down to Glasgow.
It looked
early
fantastic.
doors.
I was a bit jealous, to be fair.
Corporate event.
It looked classy.
You're not having to put your hand in your pocket at all for any of the drink.
What, free bar?
Yep, big shout out and thank you to Subsea Supplies for the invite. And
lovely guys. I think they're fantastic.
And then it's a bus journey all the way back to Aberdeen.
Free for events.
Yeah. So I have to disappoint you, actually. I think I had 6 bottles of beer at the football, and I had no drink going down and no drink coming back.
That's relatively responsible of you.
It's very
especially
responsible.
For a free bar, yeah.
Yeah. So I compromised basically because I had things to do on Sunday that were really important to me, and I had to, make a decision not to get fully involved in the shenanigans of all the drinking. So
did the rest of them get fully involved?
Oh yeah, they were smashed.
It
was good fun.
Did Mr. Bruce get fully involved?
Oh, he was head first.
He was head first. He dove in. He had nothing important on Sunday.
But it might be to do with that and the fact that the previous weekend I kind of went all out at a charity event.
Yeah. So guys, if you want to make progress, make sure you're not like Barry and getting absolutely hammered on the weekend.
But you need to work around your social events. So there's an example of me thinking about the progress that I'm making with my training goals. It wasn't just my training goals. It was other things that I had to do on Sunday that were important to me. If you're cutting weight, etc., you are more strict. You're at currently you're maintaining, right? So you don't have to be as strict with yourself. You can allow yourself a few more social events. Yeah, but if your goal is to lose weight or make progress, and you are not currently making progress, but you have a lot of social events in your diary, then potentially you need to come up with strategies that allow you to attend these social events if this is what you want to do, but still make progress.
Yeah, exactly.
And for me, that would be being more sensible about what I drink and consume, because obviously drink has got a lot of calories. If I want to lose
on those gin and tonics, Barry.
Yeah, if I want to lose weight, then I want to maybe not over-consume on the alcohol. But it's more like, if I'm drinking a lot, the next day is a bit of a write-off.
Yeah,
Don't know about you. Next day is a bit of a write-off.
Next day and then the day after.
But I also like a night out. I'm not gonna lie.
You've got to. I think there's a balance, right, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Unless you're taking this really seriously, you're fully committing.
Yeah.
You should be able to enjoy a drink with your friends. I think going out with your family and having a good time.
Absolutely. And if you want to make long-term progress rather than just short-term progress, then it has to be a sustainable approach. It has to be something that you enjoy, and it has to include everything else that is involved in your life, whether that's socializing with friends, family, and doing the things that you enjoy doing, getting out there, having a few drinks, having a bit of fun.
So if you're not making progress in the gym, guys, go out on the weekend and have a few drinks.
Yeah.
That's our takeaway.
But yeah, I mean, anything else that you think would be worthwhile covering?
I think we've covered everything. I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to this episode. We've had great fun recording it.
Absolutely. And guys, if you haven't already followed us on Instagram, please
give us a follow.
And
comment, like.
Yeah.
Follow.
Get interactive. And if you are listening on Spotify, which I think just over 50% of our listeners are using Spotify, so that's a grand total of 3 people.
Yeah, not because we weren't on Apple till last week, but...
Then hit the follow button, because we would like you guys to be notified as soon as an episode goes out. Guys, we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Starting Monday podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to follow us and share with your friends. Have a great day, and see you at the next episode.